A woman, determined to sabotage her husband's client, ordered an extremely spicy meal. However, she never expected the client to be from Sichuan. Spicy food was nothing to him, it was his comfort zone. So, the plan immediately failed. The client praised the meal, and he complimented her husband's taste. He said, "That is what hospitality is all about." Not only did the deal not fall through, but the client immediately increased his investment. The husband looked smug, and the wife smiled like a statue. But inside, she was screaming. That night, she couldn't sleep. She stared at the ceiling, nearly fainting from frustration. Because her entire plan depended on one thing. If the company went bankrupt, she could finally divorce him. She wouldn't need to play the role of the perfect husband anymore. She wouldn't need to face difficult questions, wouldn't need to bear the guilt. But if the company continued to be profitable, she would have no reason to leave. So she sat bolt upright. Her eyes turned icy cold instantly. She thought, fine. If a meal can't break him, money will. The next day, she took his unlimited credit card. The kind with no spending limit. She didn't buy jewelry, she didn't buy a car. She bought an entire unfinished building, a failed project. A dilapidated, long, abandoned skyscraper. Never completed. A pure financial black hole. She quickly signed all the documents. She moved with practiced ease, as if she were an expert. Then she hired a demolition crew and ordered them to demolish it immediately. Her logic was simple, such a massive purchase would raise suspicion. Cash would run out overnight, the company's funds would dry up. Suppliers would panic, banks would tighten credit. Her husband would wake up to find himself bankrupt. And she would finally be free. That night, for the first time in weeks, she slept like a baby. In her mind, she imagined him pleading desperately. She imagined him collapsing in despair. She imagined herself turning away. But the next morning, her phone rang incessantly. She answered, expecting screams and lawsuits. But instead, she heard shouts, cheers, and the roar of heavy machinery. The foreman was panting. "Madam," he said, "you need to come over." She drove there, her heart pounding, expecting police. Or a scene of utter devastation, or angry investors. But the site was filled with officials, uniforms everywhere. Conspicuous police tape, cameras. The workers had stopped demolishing. They were digging carefully, as if they had discovered some priceless treasure. The wife pushed through the crowd, her heart sinking. Beneath the foundation lay a vast underground burial chamber. Ancient stone, ancient carvings, a sealed tomb. The foreman stared at her, as if she were incredibly lucky. "We dug too deep," he said. "It's a tomb." Then, the official turned and announced the news. It wasn't just a tomb. It was the tomb of a former emperor, a national cultural discovery. The wife nearly collapsed. Because of her wasted money,